Okay guys, so today I'm going to show you how to make this super cute pumpkin quilt. Who doesn't love a pumpkin quilt? You can use this for Thanksgiving, for Halloween, just any time of year. Make the pumpkins any fabric you like. I made mine with some scraps that I had left over. I used my Quilt to cut that little star that you see. So you can get creative by adding things to your pumpkins. You could add faces if you want to do Halloween pumpkins. So this is a really simple quilt. We use a template to make our pumpkins. Our cornerstones are 2 inches. Our sashing is 2 inches wide. Our background fabric are 10-inch squares. All right, this looks like something you want to make. Let's get started. Okay, for our pumpkin quilt, these are the items we're going to need. We're going to need an iron. We're going to need some heat and bond light sewable. We're going to need some scissors, a pen, some scrap fabrics of your choice, and this template from Laundry Basket Quilts. Let me show you a little closer if you would like to purchase this template. This is the sticker on it. Okay. So now that you know what we need, oh, and a sewing machine, of course, let's get started. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is take our stencil and we want to trace it onto this paper. Okay. Now we're tracing on the paper side of the heat and bond. If you're going to make a big quilt like I did, you would want to just trace a bunch of pumpkins, get all your pumpkins traced, then get these pieces traced, the stems traced, all in a group. That way you save a lot of space. Okay, so now that we have our pumpkin traced onto our heat and bond, we're going to cut these pieces out and iron them on the backs of our scrap fabric that we choose, okay? So let's do that now. Okay, so now that we have all of our pieces cut out, we can peel the paper off the back. Okay. See, it's shiny because that's the glue. Our background square is a 10-inch square. You can make this any color you like. Let's center our pumpkin. There we go. I think I like my pumpkin like this. So now that I have it all laid out, I'm going to take the iron and press it. Okay, so let's press our iron. Let's press our pumpkin. Don't want to push across because you'll move your applique pieces. Just want to kind of lay it on there and let it. Okay, so now that we have it pressed, we're going to let it cool. Now you can continue to make more pumpkins for your quilt. Maybe you want to make a really nice table runner, whatever you want. But the next thing we're going to do is stitch all of our applique down, okay? We're going to do a zigzag stitch along all of these raw edges. That way when we wash our quilt, we don't need to worry about it fraying or coming up. So as you can see, it's ready to go. So next is the sewing machine. Okay, so here we are at our old Singer Model 237. It's a wonderful machine. Love it. So we're going to start zigzagging. Now it's safe to wash. We don't need to worry about our fabric fraying or anything. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is put our sashing and our corner blocks on. Let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to do a quick press of my block that I just stitched down. Make sure everything's laying nice and flat. So the cornerstones, I'm going to use this 2-inch strip of fabric, and in my sashing I sewed a bunch of scraps together and then cut it at 2 inches. So let's give this all a quick press, and then we're going to cut it. Okay, so we're going to cut the orange fabric, which is our cornerstones. We're going to cut this 2 inches square because they're going to go in the corner like that. And then this, we're going to cut to the length of our block. Here's our 4 cornerstones. Now we're going to do our sashing. Remember, this is just scraps that I sewed together. If you're like me and you don't like to waste fabric, this is a great idea. And if you like scrappy quilts, which I love, they're my favorite. So I always save my scraps and sew them together and reuse them. So this is how we're going to put our block together. Isn't it cute? Okay, so this is how our block's going to look. So here's our center block. Here's our sashings and our cornerstones. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our side sashing. We're going to lay it on here and sew 1/4 inch. Okay? We're going to sew the side sashing on first. Then we're going to take the top sashing and the cornerstones and sew them in one long strip. like that. Okay? So let's go do that now. Now we have this side sewn on. We're going to do the other side. It's going to be the same thing. I'll line up these seams right here at the cornerstone. Put a clip on it. Come down to the other end. Line those seams up. Feel them. Make sure they're snug and tight. We'll put another clip on it. Okay. So now we're going to sew our 1/4 inch seam. Take your time. Putting my finger right there to hold it. Lining everything up but not stretching it. Okay, it's all looking good. Okay. So now we're going to press this open with our iron. Just going to kind of finger press it so you can see how it looks. Try not to stretch the fabrics. But, okay. So here's our block. So here's our quilt block, all finished. Okay, so now that we've finished our quilt block, you can make more blocks and make a quilt, table runner, pillows, whatever you want. So let's just recap. We used a stencil from Laundry Basket Quilts to make our pumpkin. We used 10-inch squares as our background, 2-inch sashing, 2-inch square for our cornerstones. Okay? So I hope you enjoyed this video and have a great day, you guys. Okay, so now that you've seen me make the quilt block, this is the quilt that I made. I made it 5 by 5, so it's 25 blocks.
Like and subscribe to Grandma's channel. Like and subscribe to Grandma's channel.